circle thing.
It takes a minute. We can see it in a... there we are.
There we go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We are your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is September 25th, 2017, and we have a special guest. One of the channels that we follow on VidMe is So What? And this is a German vlogger who does amazing video blogs on current news. And we thought, since the German elections were yesterday, we would humbly ask So What to come on with us and just answer some questions that you guys may have, questions that we certainly have.
Yeah.
The German election system is way outside of our realm of knowledge.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to get a feel for real people on the ground. So welcome, So What, to Resistance Chicks, and thank you for taking the time out to be with us today.
Thank you very much, and welcome to your audience.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for being here.
So my first question is, what persuaded you to start the VidMe channel and to kind of put your thoughts out there?
Yeah, I didn't start on VidMe. I started on another platform, which I will not mention here.
You totally can. We do it all the time. It was YouTube, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, they're terrible. We're on it. We call them out all the time.
That's why I'm on VidMe now.
Yeah, right.
And lots of Germans, especially due to censorship and so on, are switching to VidMe.
Right.
Okay.
And alternative platforms. And it's it's the way it is. You know?
So can you tell us a little bit of what happened? Did YouTube kick you off? Or
yes. I was doing my channel. It was a small channel for roughly about a year, and then I got 3 strikes within 6 hours.
Oh, kidding!
Yeah, and what most people who are not German will probably not know is the German Justice Minister, who goes by the name of Heiko Maas, and Angela Merkel, of course. Our next German Chancellor decided to impose a $50 million ban on, for example, social media platforms like Facebook and so on.
Wow.
For each and every single post that gets not deleted within 24 hours, which is deemed to be hate speech, fake news, and whatnot by the German government. No joke. Yeah?
Oh my gosh, that's massive censorship.
So what were you talking about that got you in the naughty corner 3 times?
I wanted to figure it out. The only message I, as a YouTube partner, got was it was an auto bot message.
Okay.
No? It was like there is a fine line between having a personal opinion and hate speech, and that was it.
Wow!
Like, honestly. And then they said, if you want to appeal the strike, you can do it, or the channel ban. No.
Yeah.
And then a bot answered me, we have reviewed your appeal and your channel is terminated.
No way.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that is crazy. Well, I can tell our viewers that he doesn't say anything different than what we say.
Except for
that's communism.
he has more colorful words than we do.
Yeah.
So for our family-friendly viewers, be ready for the colorful. For our viewers that wish that our speech was more colorful, you will love it.
Well, but here's the thing. Is this...
But you're right. The same things. We're saying the same things politically, I think.
Right,
exactly.
on,
spot on.
So, did it come to you in German or did it come to you in English? Was this part of like the German crackdown?
I think I had my YouTube set to the English language.
Okay.
And the language was so the email I received was in the English language, but I don't know what instigated this message,
Okay.
whether it was YouTube itself, Google itself, or the German government, or the combination of it. I have no clue. Or the YouTube heroes. I mean, the biggest YouTuber ever, PewDiePie, with like 40 plus million subscribers.
Right.
He even made fun videos about the YouTube heroes.
Yeah, exactly. So, we've got viewers and we're watching now. Were you happy with the election results? Can you tell us a little bit about that, and tell our viewers a little bit how these elections work?
Yes, you have in the German federal, or I should say general election, you have two votes.
Okay.
The first vote is for the communal vote.
Okay.
That means it may be a representative in your city, in your district, in your, but a smaller area.
Okay. Okay.
And the second vote is, although it is called the second vote, it is the more important vote. That means where you do not vote for a chancellor but for a party.
Okay.
That means the second vote determines which party brings up the chancellor. So CDU is Merkel, SPD is Martin Schulz, AfD, party I voted for, is the AfD, and there was and then we have the liberals. They are called FDP, and the leftists and the Green Party. The tree huggers. Nothing wrong about hugging trees, but
right, exactly. They usually have an agenda that they push too. I mean, a pretty strong one.
They are like the Green Party has like 8 point. Like round about 9%, the leftists as well. The FDP has round about 11%. The AfD almost 13%.
Wow.
The thing is, and that is really important for people who do not live in Germany to understand. The thing is, Merkel, the Chancellor, Angela Merkel, also known as Ugly Toad, can only govern if she got 50% of all in a coalition with other parties, 50%. And the Social Democrats, which is the second strongest party, does not want to go into a coalition again with Merkel. So
interesting.
Merkel has only got the choice to go into a coalition between the Green Party and the Liberals. Not between, but they they have to work together to get the absolute majority.
Right.
Is there a reason? Can you tell us why Schulz didn't want to join with Merkel again?
The socialists said, the party boss said that they have to rebuild the party. He said it in more polite words and more, like good sounding words, but they have to rebuild their party in order to, because they lost so badly. The Socialist Democrats lost so badly. It was like literally, no joke, the worst result since 1949 or whatnot.
I think I read that. I think I read something like that,
But this is good news, right?
Yeah.
Not for them.
Because now Merkel has to go into a coalition with the tree huggers and the liberals. And they all hate each other.
Do they really? They do.
Okay.
I love that that's making you so happy. See, we needed some good news because we didn't quite understand the significance. It looks like Merkel won kind of with a huge percent. But we didn't understand that there's all this infighting because they won't let it out. They won't let us know this stuff. We can't even get it on alternative media. Yeah,
I think that the downers, the EU is obviously upset that the AfD has any seats in Germany. It's all kind of like a depressing tone from the news outlets that somehow this upstart party, isn't it a new party?
I mean, fairly within the past decade.
Yeah. The AfD is like around about 5 years old, so a very young party. And the FDP, for example, the liberals, no?
Okay.
They are like decades old.
Okay.
And even the leftist party, no? Or the Green Party is even older than the leftist party. They are decades old parties.
Okay.
No?
Okay. So the go ahead,
Patriot Gallery.
I have a question. So the AfD is new.
Yep.
Well, Brexit and the UKIP was new, but it was just for Brexit. Is the AfD going to stay? What its platform?
Okay, so her question is, with Brexit, we have UKIP, and they really were just with a platform of we have to leave the European Union. Then once they achieved that, it's kind of they're struggling to find their ground, to find who they are. So they're kind of going with the anti-immigration thing as well, to have that as a solid platform. What we're hearing is that the AfD is strictly just anti-immigration. Do they have any other things that we would be able to grasp a hold of as far as what their platform is, their agenda?
I think the AfD has quite a lot in common with the UKIP. Nigel Farage, I like that guy very, very much.
We do too.
And I think these parties have a lot in common. I'm not saying that they have everything in common,
right?
Or that, but they are anti-open border. The AfD is anti-open borders, just like UKIP. The AfD is anti-immigration of illegals,
right?
And
exactly.
The AfD is not in favor of the Islamization of Europe,
right?
And I mean, there are a whole lot of things that the AfD has in common. I frankly don't see where there are big differences. The AfD is also anti the European Union. I'm not talking about Europe. I'm talking about the
European Union. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, and so if I was living in the UK and if I was a UK citizen, I would have voted first of all for the Brexit, and equally important for Nigel Farage.
Right.
Yeah, but not for Theresa May, because she disappointed me once again.
Yeah. I think she disappointed a lot.
So, from a German perspective, we have a lot of UK viewers, and we understand. We have a somewhat understanding why they want out of the European Union. Can you give, from a German perspective, why maybe some of the Germans would want to leave the European Union?
Yes, the European Union passes down laws on everybody. Like things, it is not only about immigrants, but that is a crucial point.
Right.
But also other, like really ridiculous laws. Like it starts with a light bulb.
Right.
Yeah? They forbidden the light bulbs, which are like 100 watts. No? You can't buy them anymore. There's almost a black market for light bulbs. And they are like really expensive. You can order them via eBay, but they are expensive. No? But as they are better, people...
they want to keep you in the dark. We knew that all along. Literally, figuratively. Oh my gosh. So, and we find that with the European Union across the board, they do pass down these laws
that affect everybody at a micro level, but they pass laws at a macro level.
In Italy, I think John Petter had sent me an article where the Italians, they don't want GMOs in their country, and the European Union allowed this farmer to plant GMO corn, and so that European Union law overstepped the Italian ban on GMOs, and it made my blood boil. Go ahead, Patriot Gallery.
I understand that because the EU is in Brussels, in Germany, well, it benefits Germany more financially. Now, what's the scoop on that?
I'm going to repeat.
Well, yeah, so from what a lot of the interviews that I've been seeing is that Germany actually kind of rules the European Union. You guys have the largest economy in the European Union, and a lot of the smaller countries, you know, Hungary, Poland, they feel left out. And actually, from when I'm listening to some of these interviews, I'm kind of shocked where people say, yeah, well, Germany has the largest income, so they should be able to tell people what to do and what to say. How do you feel about how Germany's role and the central seat being in Brussels and not changing, just staying there?
I think it is despicable, and it is I don't know. It is a total like, I don't want to use rude. I will not use rude words. I think it is like literally slap in the face of countries which have a smaller economy, but who are at least having politicians who are standing up for their citizens. Like, for example, Czech Republic, Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, and maybe one or two other countries. Yeah, okay. They are like, for example, Hungary. No? That's always my prime example. No, they are great. Good.
They're great.
Yeah, Viktor Orban. No, he is like, the EU tells Orban from Hungary, you have to take in immigrants, and Orban is like, yeah, but it costs money, no? And then he takes the money and he builds fences, no? And then he says, yeah, but well, we can't let them in. And the EU says, why not? And Orban is like, we need more money. And then he builds a double fence, no? Fence behind the first fence.
This is great.
And he electrocutes fences. I mean, not to kill anybody, but just to warn them off, né? And sticks pig's heads onto the fences. Né? Yeah, because lots of these people are superstitious. You know, yeah.
Right.
Orban is the hero, eh?
No, I could not agree more. So the consensus is that having the seat in Brussels really isn't fair. But that those that are still in the EU, like Hungary and Poland, they're kind of standing up against them. And it does give hope to the rest of us that maybe, just maybe, we might see, you know, a Pole exit or a Hungary exit or something like that.
So what is the word on the ground amongst the German people? Are they muttering under their breath that they don't want the migration? Because I've seen Merkel, she's booed. People seem displeased with her. What is the feel amongst the German people about Merkel and her decision to let everybody in 2015?
Cover up the.
And so, what's the feel amongst your friends, people you talk to?
Yeah, I would say my friends are generally sharing the same opinion. However, I have to say, Germany is somewhat divided, not geographically divided so much, but in general. There is, and even my own family, no? They voted for Merkel again, and I said, "How can you do it?" No? And then we screamed at each other, like honestly. And for example, my sister, no? She said, last Christmas, she said, "Yeah, I would rather take in a Syrian refugee than allow you into my house." And I was like, "What?" No joke.
Wow.
So it's very divided. There is, I think, the middle ground, it doesn't exist. You have people on the side of who want to let everybody in, who say open borders is great and everything, and then you have people who say no, borders closed, kick illegals out, and I belong to that side.
Yes, good for you.
Yeah, honestly, it's like there is no common consensus.
Yeah.
In the middle, what used to be mid-center, yeah? A little bit of immigration is okay, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. That is gone now, almost.
Right.
What does his sister think about the rapes in the Sharia law.
So does your sister?
Yeah.
When you,
They're shutting down beer festivals.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry. And not only in here, in Malaysia, for example, ne? A country thousands of miles away, ne? They forbid the beer fest, ne? The beer fest in Malaysia, ne?
Wow.
Okay.
Ne? And the Oktoberfest in Munich is still happening, but open selling of beer, as it used to be, is forbidden now.
Well,
Because it may trigger some people
Stop
of
it.
certain kinds of ideologies and beliefs, and
So what are they doing instead of the normal open sales of beer?
yeah, they have actually. I watched, you know, about the Malaysian thing. I made a video about the German Oktoberfest. I heard about on Electron Channel. They say you have to sell beer in tents. In tent, ne? In a tent,
That's
not,
funny.
not in the open
Because
anymore.
somehow that's different. Because somebody can just walk by it being in the open and they can be triggered, but in order to, you have to actually go in and be deliberate. I
It's
think
interesting. The birth of Oktoberfest.
We have a massive Oktoberfest downtown in Cincinnati here in Ohio, and I have to tell you, if they started to institute like restrictions on the sale of beer down there at Oktoberfest, there would be riots in the
Yeah.
streets.
Yeah.
The same will happen in Bavaria. You know, Oktoberfest here, Munich, Bavaria, ne? The people in Bavaria, they are very stubborn, ne? And they are like, on average, like, I don't know, 8 feet tall. Yeah, honestly, you don't want to mess around with these guys, ne? And if you take away their beer, they get angry, ne?
Yes, so don't do it.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh, that's
That's
fantastic. So I want to switch gears really quickly because I want to get back to the election a little bit, but just for fun, what do you feel about Trump, and what is the let's just give me kind of the broad spectrum of what people in Germany think of Donald Trump.
At first, I will say what I think about him. I think he is overall doing a way, way, way better job than Hillary Clinton or all the other fraudsters could ever have done. I think that I don't agree with him on every single thing. I think it was wrong to welcome Erdogan. Because Erdogan, the Turkish president who declared war on all of Europe, and Trump said he spoke of great friendship. But on the other hand, I have to say, Trump has overall done a very good job. Yeah. But that was the thing that annoyed me, and I also didn't like, and that is the last thing I will say, the Saudi Arabian friendship. What is that all about?
We're on the same page here.
The petrodollar is what that's all about.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's about. So, we
so.
totally agree. We called that out with Trump on Erdogan as well. We were highly, highly disappointed in that.
He's an Islamic State total dictator in the making.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the Germans, kind of by and large, what is the feel on the street about Donald Trump?
It is also divided. I think that it is like, I cannot even give percentage numbers. It is divided. Like, I don't know whether it's half of the Germans or more or less, but there's some kinds of Germans who absolutely love Donald Trump.
Really?
And yeah, actually. And I count myself in, although I disagree with him on some points. But
we do too.
You know, but then there are people who absolutely hate everything he does.
Yes.
No?
No matter what he did, even if it was something that they would agree with, they just hate him for the sake of hating him.
Look at the disaster. I mean, the whole world, honestly, the whole world, not even Germany, the whole world knows that, for example, Hillary Clinton would have been bad.
Right.
She would have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people also see that Trump is surrounded by sort of sharks or swamp creatures.
Swamp creatures is what we call them, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, look at McCain, for example. He's only one of them, no?
Yes.
Maybe not even the worst one. But I mean, that guy. Well, honestly, how often will he oppose Trump again?
Right.
Doing a healthcare reform or whatnot.
Right.
I mean, that is. But bear in mind, I get my information from the internet, not from what most people get their information from. Most people, especially the a little bit aged people, watch state television and read newspapers.
Absolutely.
And it is all like it's in Germany the same as in the US.
Right.
You have clowns like this Colbert person or other people, these Bill Maher type of clowns,
Right.
And they get misled.
Absolutely. Do you see? There's definitely a divide between people who get their news online in the United States and people who get it from mainstream media. And actually, the people in America doing their own research, reading all the articles and coming up with their own conclusions is huge. I mean, we are winning here in America, whether Donald Trump does exactly what he said he was going to do or not. The Trumpism, the Trump movement, the Make America Great movement, it gives me goosebumps to think about so many people with American ideals of liberty, justice, freedom for all, rights to property, things like that. They're just people who are waking up from the sleeping slumber that our public schools have put on us, the government has put on us, the brainwashing, and people are just kind of just thinking for themselves. They're finding God again. They're finding love for each other again. Totally opposite of a communist thing. This is more of the revolutionary spirit of our founding fathers coming up again. My question is, in Germany, what's kind of maybe a percentage of people who do diligent research to find the truth on a certain subject versus people who read a newspaper or
watch the state television?
I think it depends on the age group.
Okay.
There are always exceptions, but of course, there are lots of people way older than me even that know way more and do diligent research.
Wow.
On average, the people who are younger are more used to using this technology, like the internet and so on.
Right.
And people like, I have to think of my parents, for example. They don't even know how to use a computer.
Right. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
So they have to rely on the newspapers they pay for and the television shows that they watch. And,
right.
But they are not dumb. It is just that they are fed false information.
Right, exactly.
No, and people like, whether it is Alex Jones, Breitbart, Drudge, or whoever, ne?
Right.
It's like they are providing news. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure. Alex Jones sometimes flips out.
He's hilarious.
It is funny.
It is. We laugh. Here's the thing. A lot of our viewers love Alex Jones. Some of our viewers think he's just cuckoo, but he is right on most of the time, and we just take the avenue of just laugh with him, laugh at him, because that's what makes it really fun. Yeah. So I want to switch gears here a little bit because Britt Baza, one of our UK viewers, has a question for you. What do you think about, what's the German, not what you think, but what is the German political opinion of Turkey joining the EU?
In general, absolutely against it.
Okay.
Yeah, all over the parties.
Really?
Yeah, you will always find some people who have an agenda or whatnot, but in general, absolutely against it. Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, Turkey was kind of strung along there, right? With promises.
They declared war on. Apologize.
Go ahead.
They declared. First of all, I want to make it very clear. Sorry, I will not blab too much. It is not against Turkish people. It is against the Turkish regime.
Right.
My neighbor is a Turk. He hates Erdogan more than me. He flies to Turkey to hold protest. He's a political activist.
Oh, wow.
To hold protest marches against Erdogan. Yeah.
Good for him.
Erdogan declared war on Europe.
Yes.
And then later on said, yeah, it was just for the election, yada.
Right.
As if nothing happened. No? He declared war several times on especially Germany, the Netherlands, and other countries.
Did you see the video where the first time Erdogan came to the United States and their bodyguards beat up the protesters, the anti-Erdogan protesters outside?
I saw it, and I recently made a video about that. Honestly, no.
Oh, we missed that one.
And no. He did it several times, no?
Yeah, this was even at the recent visit too. I know, but the last one was actually that was a full-on brawl.
Yeah,
they were taking people out.
Erdogan's bodyguards don't mess around. They don't pull any punches.
They don't pull any punches. Yeah, and you know what? Because before Erdogan, Turkey had more of a, and they were more democratic. Secular, yeah, more secular. But Erdogan has promised, from what I understand, to turn Turkey into an Islamic state within the next 12 years.
Yeah, exactly. They are moving. You know, the most prominent political leader of Turkey, who was a good guy, although he was a Muslim, but he was for a clear separation between state and religion. That was Kemal Atatürk, yeah? But Erdogan is like a Turkish Hitler.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Well, I don't understand. Where are the anti-fascists and all the protesters when Erdogan jails every single newspaper reporter? And there is absolutely freedom of speech is a joke in Turkey, and not only that, they jail you for reporting anything against the Turkish now regime. Where do you think the protesters are against that kind of fascism?
I think it doesn't fit their agenda, I have to say. I think they are willfully, intentionally blind towards this injustice, and they would rather spit upon Germany, Germans, Western civilization than to admit that they have been allies with this regime.
Right. So my other question then, I know there's a lot of feminists in Germany. Why do you think that they're so silent on the fact that under Islam, women are not treated equally? And how come they're not marching in the streets against for equal treatment? And why does it seem that everybody is against Islamophobia, but they're not against the bad things that are in Islam, that treat people badly?
That is a thing I also ask myself. I mean, how could any woman especially not see what is possibly coming for them, their children, their future, or the future of their children or grandchildren? I mean, it is like, I mean, I'm lost for words. These people, I mean, honestly, I'm not wanting to bash. Yeah, actually, I'm wanting to bash Islam because, I mean, they idolize and pray to a polygamist, pedophile, warlord, crazed out mass murderer. Yeah, and they are saying things like, yeah, well, it's a child, it's a bride, okay, it maybe 6 years old, 7, 9, 8, 10, 9, 12, 7, whatnot years old, né?
Yeah.
And they do the most horrible things, but they have always this, in quotation marks, excuse, yeah, it is in the Quran, and the Prophet did it, so I can do it.
Right,
yeah?
right.
And that annoys me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something I don't understand because on YouTube, the videos are still out there. I have seen imams joke about the age of Aisha, say she definitely was 7 years old.
Like that makes a difference.
And that whatever the Prophet did, they have these, I saw an imam talk about temporary marriages with children.
Infants.
And these are imams. These are their religious leaders. And so I wonder that it boggles my mind that if we talk about it and we just say, this is what this imam is saying, this is what this religious leader is saying, that somehow we're Islamophobic for pointing out what they're saying. And it boggles my mind. How do you view that?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I don't want to, but I will say it. I think Islam has no place in any civilized society. It doesn't matter whether it is a Western society or an Eastern society, any civilized society. That is not tolerable. I mean, imagine if somebody from some sort of ideology went up and said, yeah, our ideology or religion, if you want, demands that children be, you know what, no?
Right.
Yeah, the outcry would be huge.
Right.
But why is it tolerated?
Right.
I don't get it.
Well, there's there's female genital mutilation in some of these countries. It's 100%. And obviously our Western countries don't tolerate it, but it's done underground and it's excused.
Right. Just because it's part of their religion.
Absolutely.
And again, if you talk about it, then you're Islamophobic.
And when we were talking about migration, before the influx of migration, from what I understand, I had when I was in college, I had a black German friend, fully German. She never experienced any racism. She was just a German woman and she was black. But it would seem that everybody now who's talking about, if you're talking against migration, suddenly you're a racist, where, from what I understand from my friend, black people were integrated and were just Germans and there wasn't any issues. That the issue isn't race, it's this influx of swift migration of young, healthy males who are obviously not, they really can't even do the jobs that Merkel said that they were supposed to, come in to replacement migration. How does that even work when you're just bringing in all males anyways?
Yeah, so the official statistics say that 80% of them are male, military age men. Yeah, male men, okay, it's a double. Are men, military age, who are Muslims, coming from all kinds of the world. Doesn't matter whether there's a war or anything. They are not refugees.
Right.
In my opinion.
No, I agree.
The thing is, these people are highly overqualified. That is what Merkel and her minions tell us, or want to make us believe.
Right.
They are highly overqualified. In what? In raping children or what? Honestly, what is their qualification? They cannot even read or write in their own language, for in lots of cases at least. And if you look at the pictures and or videos that you find on all kinds of whether it is on web video platforms or in articles, all you see is like men who are like 20 to mid 30 years old.
Right.
Like really muscular men. No?
Exactly.
You need to have a magnifying glass to find a woman or a child.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
for the media, they will only present the children and the poor women. No? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. So one of our viewers has a question here. Do you believe that Germans will ever have national pride again? Or will the collective guilt Germans have after Hitler and World War II last forever and only the EU pride ever be acceptable? Because when we were showing video footage yesterday, Merkel was handed a German flag when she stood up on the platform, and she, in disgust, took it and set it to the side like, no, we're not going to wave the German flag. I mean, when are you guys, do you foresee Germans getting German pride back again, or is it always going to be the EU first?
Michelle's
No, I think the Germans are well aware of what is happening with the EU and with the downfall of not only Germany but the whole of Europe. Honestly, I cannot speak for other countries or whatnot, no? And I cannot speak for all Germans or for any German apart from me, no?
Right.
But from what my understanding is, or my estimation is, these people cannot go on like that forever. It is simply collapsing, and it is an age-old plan. Back then, this replacement migration. It is Kalergi plan, Houghton plan. They call it replacement migration plan. It is an United Nations plan, not United States, United Nations. No?
Right.
Replacement migration, and they want to. I don't want to appear to be like some sort of cuckoo or whatnot, but it is an official document. Everybody can find it on the internet, and then it is like bringing all of our countries down, and not only our continents down, not only Europe, but also America. As a whole continent, including the United States, Canada, and even Latin America. Although these kinds of people will run into problems in Latin America, that I can guarantee you.
So, do you know much about Merkel's history? I've heard a lot that she was a communist. I've heard something that she worked with the KGB. I say one's a communist, always a communist, unless you really, really come out, but and God changes your heart. Do you think she still has communist views? Do you think she's trying to, what do you think her plan is?
Yeah, I think Merkel is a typical opportunist. She comes certainly from communist background, socialist, communist, whatever the definition may be. I say communist background, and she has a sort of, it is not even that she hates Germany, but she has no roots to, she has no binding to Germany, and her, some people say that she worked for the Stasi, which was the East German, back then when Germany was divided, before before 1989.
Okay.
Her code name was IM, capital I, capital M, IM, Erika.
Oh, interesting.
And but of course, the documents which could possibly have proven that it is correct mysteriously burned up in a fire.
That's very convenient.
In that bibliothèque where these files, these documents were stored. Yeah, it all burned up mysteriously.
Oh, shocking.
So what's with everybody calling her Mutti?
Mutti means, I know that you know what it means. It means, Mutti is mother, but not really mother. It's more like, now my English lacks me. It is like a nice, polite form of saying mother. Wait,
Okay.
I have to, Mutti? Wait, I can find that out.
Take your time, you're fine.
Mutti. Maybe Google Translate. Nah, mommy.
Okay.
Yeah, mommy.
Which it really it makes it a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Because like here, you know, you think of like Mother Earth, and it's more kind of this kind of abstract thing where it's not quite like mommy. I think of breastfeeding.
And
I think of like
infants,
being a child.
toddlers.
You know, like
Yeah.
you can be, you know, 65 and your mother is still alive, but you're not 65 and still calling her mommy, because if you are, you got mommy issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe some people are into that. I'm not. That I can tell you.
Well, she ran on this campaign of being like German's mother, and I just don't see it. I don't see Germans needing a mommy.
Right.
No. Okay, if it was like a no, I will not. No, I don't want her as my mom. Let's keep it.
But are there Germans that find this term endearing, that they want to use it to call her that?
No, it is totally made up. Nobody calls her mommy. It is totally, I mean, honestly, now
It's
come
complete
on.
propaganda.
Mommy.
It's fake news.
Like maybe Egyptian mummy from out of the crypt or what.
I love it. Mummy, that's what we're gonna start calling her. Like
I have seen her say to the migrants all coming in that she wanted to be their mummy, which I just find incredibly creepy and weird, because these are adult young males, and it's just really weird.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh.
One thing. I read that there is a new museum to Islam in Germany. Is this true?
Oh, I can't say much about that. They have. I read about that they have religious things that are being shown to children. But I can't. No, I can't. Say anything about that.
Okay.
I would if I could, but sorry, I apologize.
No, that's okay. I saw a virtual walkthrough of a museum to Islam and its place in Germany, and it's the history of Islam throughout German history. I mean, it's like a multi-million-dollar museum.
That's depressing.
I know. It's huge.
Okay, so back to the election, which I know a lot of our viewers, are wanting to hear about. So these seats that the AfD has gained, to me, it's in the 80s. Am I correct?
Yeah, let me check. They got, I've some articles open.
My question is, how much of
Yeah.
a significance is this going to be as far as actually creating laws and policies? I mean, are we feeling like a surge is happening? The next election, do you guys anticipate even more? Kind of like the growing of UKIP or something like that in...
Will they have a say? Will their vote matter?
I think that Merkel, as the SPD, as of yet, although I don't trust them, said they will not cooperate with Merkel.
Okay.
Merkel will have a very hard time, and that will only pump more votes into the AfD. No, I'm desperately trying. I prepared that to find the exact number of seats.
I believe it's 89, but that's just off the top of my head. Some people are asking what is
maybe yeah.
What is your YouTube channel? He doesn't have a YouTube channel. He got kicked off of YouTube.
You can only find So What on VidMe.
This is his channel.
This is his channel
So
right here.
What?
I found it. Sorry.
Okay.
I apologize. I didn't.
You sound just like us.
1994, according to this.
Okay, cool.
I have 3 questions for people.
Okay, give me your first one.
Okay, first one is what does Germany think about the EU anthem?
Oh, what does Germany think about the EU anthem, Ode to Joy?
I I prefer the German national anthem.
Okay.
Germany first. Yeah, honestly. I mean, and for you, America first, and for the British,
Yes,
I don't know,
exactly.
they can sing their Hail to the Queen or whatever it is called. Yeah, honestly, in a way.
So the answer is he hates it.
EUA.
Right. So the answer is that you would rather, like, let's say when even if it is Merkel, when she gets elected, that they play the German national anthem as opposed to
Macron. They played the
Macron.
EU.
They played the EU national anthem.
Yes.
Because it is a disgrace to be a president, chancellor, prime minister, or whatnot, and then have the EU anthem played. I mean, Macron, ne? The globalist bankster, with his, I mean, nothing against older women, but I mean, he's gay anyways. But yeah, it is like it is. I mean, I'm just saying.
Just say it like it is. Yes, it's just true.
Yeah.
All right, so Patriot Gallery, next
Someone
question.
wants to know if there's so many parties, is that to split up the vote? Is it to make it harder? Why are there so many parties?
We have two main parties in America. You guys have several parties. I feel like it gives more people a voice to have more parties. Does it tend to split the vote and make it so that you don't, so it's harder to get things done, or do you think it's better to have more parties?
I think it is good to have as many parties as possible, but if I look at the parties, I've prepared stuff. No? I'm very
You're so much like us.
For example, we have parties like, they call themselves no, I can, the Pirate Party of Germany.
This is reminding me of the UK.
No joke, ne? Pirate Party.
And what is their goal?
Wait, their goal is, I don't know. Pirate politics and social liberalism. I prepared that. Huh?
Okay.
And then we have some hardcore right-wing parties, which I do.
Oh, did we lose?
Now, fasten your seatbelts. Sit down. Huh?
Sit down, guys.
The party is called the Party. Die Partei. It means the party.
Simple. Keep it simple.
No joke. I'm not kidding you.
Simple.
But that's not all. We have other parties. We have the Bavaria Party. We also have the anarchist Pogo Party of Germany. No, it's not all. No, the Communist Party of Germany, and it's not all. Feminist Party of Germany.
Lovely.
German Communist Party, German. It goes on and on like that.
But they're not gaining traction, obviously. They're just there to be. I mean, how many people are actually in some of these parties? Are we talking thousands, a couple hundred?
Nah, difficult to say.
5?
It varies, but you know, in Germany, that is important. We have the 5% hurdle.
Okay.
That means any party who wants to enter the highest parliament in Germany, called Bundestag, the highest parliament in Germany, like here Merkel and so on, they have to reach 5% of the votes.
Okay.
And obviously parties like, we also have a party called...
You can't even get it out.
Honestly, some parties, they have so ridiculous names, you can't make it up. They will never reach the 5% hurdle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so one more question for Mom, and then I want to get to Horatio's question.
Well, I want to set everybody straight. We've all been slaves.
We've all been
We've
slaves.
all been robbed. We all need reformations.
Yes.
But God is the only one who can do it.
Yep.
So we're all going to get gold and silver. Throughout history, people have used gold coins and silver coins.
The fiat currency really has ruined almost all of our nations.
That's how they get away with all this stuff, with fake
Right.
money. They just make
How do they fund the corruption? The corruption has to be funded.
Right.
And they only can do it through the fiat currency.
So God's going to give everybody gold coins and silver coins back around the world.
I like it.
And He's going to give back land. It's the year of Jubilee.
I love it.
The question is, what about reformations? You can say for Poland for 2 wars.
Oh, you mean the reparations?
Reparations.
Yeah, for 2 German wars.
Yeah, I heard about
Poland's
that.
been talking about
Poland, in an act of defiance, has said, well, if you're going to try to fine us for not taking migrants, well, how about you give us reparations for World War II? Was that just kind of a joke?
Like a tongue-in-cheek?
I think they they just want to. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. I'm totally on the side of the Polish people. No? They just want to, like Hungary. Yeah?
Right.
They are like, yeah, give us money. So they will take the refugees in. And after they've been given money, they will say, well, not enough money. We can't take refugees in.
I love
this
it.
This is how you do it. No?
They know exactly. For those of you that didn't see when he was talking about what Hungary is doing, you're going to have to rewatch the whole video. For those of you that are just joining us. So Horatio is our UK correspondent, and he is here viewing, and he says, does he think that Merkel will use the election result to actually entrench herself even more in her political beliefs rather than actually listen?
Yeah. I think Merkel, I don't know what's wrong with this woman. Honestly, no. I don't know. I'm not a political analyst or a physician, but something is wrong with this woman.
I think she has Hillary Clinton syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. She's the German Hillary Clinton, eh?
It doesn't.
More chubby and so.
Hillary Clinton didn't take the election loss very well, as she blamed, a number of things. And I guess Horatio's question was, do you think Merkel will take stock of her faults and things that she's done wrong?
No. Okay. No way. Merkel is always like, no. I did it all for the benefit of Europe and Germany, and I'm the best chancellor ever. That is Merkel.
She's just like Clinton. Yeah,
she is pretty much queen of the world. I mean, at least queen of the EU. I mean, she's pretty much queen. She's been in office longer than pretty much.
Yeah.
She looks pretty good. Like, you'd think that, she would have, this would take a toll on her. I think Satan is somehow, or she's got plastic surgery or something. I don't know. All right, Mom, one more thing. What do you got?
I think she's kind of like Clinton, so what, show us what it is. Like Clinton has a dead body count. It seems like Merkel will use people, and she'll turn around and stab them right in the back. It seems like she's very abusive and cunning.
Yeah, like she has a smile on her face, and yet, like my mom just said, she'll turn around and stab you in the back.
People that, you have to have, you have had to have stabbed a few people in the back to get in the position of power that she is in.
Yeah, exactly.
She seems to be the voice and the mouthpiece for the whole European Union, and she's not elected there.
She, in my opinion, is like a, I don't know, she's just like not even a snake.
Worse than a snake.
So
Merkel is not even like a snake like Hillary Clinton. She's more like a, I don't know, toad.
A toad. I love it.
Poisonous spider.
A poisonous spider. Oh my gosh.
A poisonous spider. Yeah, that is good. Many greetings to your mom, by the way. She has very good opinions. Yeah.
Gio says that she smiles while eating children. She smiles. Oh my gosh. Your laugh is absolutely contagious, by the way.
Say the same
All right,
thing.
so Britt Baza wants to know, what is the German business stance on Brexit? Because this will affect German manufacturing. So what is Germany's belief, deal or no deal?
I can only speak of my opinion,
and
some of my other fellows' opinions. We are, I think, honestly, most Germans, honestly, want that the Brexit will happen successfully, albeit Theresa May tries to block it, no? And hinder it. But we want it to become true so that we can all get out.
Right.
Honestly. Yeah, honestly. And I know if there is one perfect, I am not insinuating violence here or anything.
Absolutely.
But if by any means, by accident or something, I mean, perfect target for a drone strike would be like, no instigation to violence, but the EU Parliament, I mean, what do we need it even for?
Good question.
Very good. We don't. And I think... I'm very optimistic. I know some of our UK viewers that are just afraid can't be as optimistic as I am, but I really do foresee the EU crumbling.
And I'm actually, the reason that there's such an internet crackdown is because the free flow of ideas gets people thinking. And the only way you have a rise in Nazism, the only way you have a rise in fascism, the only way you have a rise in communism is... only a few people with a blowhorn, right? And they take control from everybody else, and then what they do is they take control of the media, they take control of the children and what they're learning, and so you have this break, and you need to just get information out there to people so they can think for themselves. And in that, you're always going to have some evil people. You're always going to have some bad people. You're always going to have lazy people. Mom and I were just talking about today. Unfortunately, communism is the laziest ism there is. It's, nobody wants to take responsibility. Everybody just wants everybody else to work. And but the only reason we're even having talks against the EU, the only reason the idea of Frexit or the idea of Nexit or the idea is coming out is because of the internet. People are getting their ideas out across the world, and the more we talk, the more we share things on Twitter, the more we put videos out there, they can't silence us all. We'll just keep popping up.
Well, it's kind of like you, they kicked you off of YouTube, and then you went to VidMe, and you have a pretty good following there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly, you cannot silence everybody.
Right.
Or not you. I mean, they cannot.
I know.
Silence.
Yeah.
And then now I forgot what I wanted to say. My channel was way smaller than yours. However, it doesn't matter.
Right.
If even one single person watches one part of one other person's video, then that is what is important. I mean,
absolutely.
Sure, everybody would like to have, I don't know, 50 gazillion, trillion subscribers or viewers or whatnot, no? But the thing is, to try to bring the truth out.
Right.
And that is what I am so grateful to you for. And lots of other people as well.
We're grateful for...
Yeah,
there's people all over the world getting truth out there. And like when you read the origins of the European Union, we did an episode on that. We did an episode, you helped to help me understand what that German man was saying. I forget his name now. Well, it's off the tip of my tongue. He has an English guy I found actually who he works with, and they have eufacts.org, and they show how IG Farben, and we discussed this, they were the chemical company and the financiers behind Hitler. And I would just like to absolve some of the people of this guilt over Hitler and the current wave of Nazism, because Hitler was, in my opinion, the fall guy for a giant cabal of evil people. We had a giant cabal here. They were the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, and the Fords. You in Germany had the chemical cabal of Bayer, IG Farben, Hauscht. And they used the Hitler machine to further their agenda, to further their own profit, and it's all about money. It wasn't about necessarily wiping out all the Jews, which is what we hear about in school. There's a one narrative that you're only allowed to talk about. And I had no idea about IG Farben. They didn't teach me in school that there was a chemical company. Somebody had to create the gas. literally create the gas to kill the Jews. Somebody had to finance the war.
So my question is, because we were watching a video yesterday, and one of the members that voted, one of the people that voted for the AfD, she was talking kind of about Nazism and everything, but you could tell by the way she was speaking that she didn't know that, you know, the Nazis kind of were, like, the EU really is just the new arm of Nazism. Is it one of those things that just no Germans are aware of?
Yeah, I think most people worldwide are, for example, not aware of the fact that during World War II, during the Nazi war, German tanks were operated by and provided by, for example, Ford and General Motors with tank engines.
Wow.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, everybody can look it up on the internet.
And you can look up Standard Oil of Rockefeller fame provided money and oil to Hitler's regime into IG Farben. There was a ton of American financiers, businessmen financing the German Reich, and so yeah. But to further your question, you were asking. I guess a lot of the Germans don't know they don't know that the guys who were running these chemical companies, the guys who were running IG Farben, the guys who were running Bayer, they went to jail, but then they came back out and they kept going. They got back into their companies. They kept going with their agenda, and their agenda was a united Europe, one currency. And I just, it boggles my mind to see Chancellor Merkel pretty much standing on top of the European Union, and that was these men. I could look it up. It's eufacts.org. These men, that was their dream. Like, they would be happy with the European Union. The same guys who financed and promoted World War II.
They planted the seeds for it. They are the founders.
And so I would like to absolve. Somebody asked me the other day when we were doing our chat, do you just not like Germans or Germany? No, you don't understand. We're against all oppression of all minds, wherever it comes from.
Right.
Younger, right? Younger was one of them.
I also...
My mom was talking about Jean-Claude Juncker.
And when we get down to it, we're going to find a criminal mastermind came up with a way to steal everybody's gold and silver. And communism, take all the gold and silver.
Yeah, that's exactly.
In every country,
they've done it in the entire world.
If you're a thief, what do you want if gold and silver is money?
Right.
All of it. So
right.
Somebody mastermind.
They're all members of the pirate party.
Juncker, ne? I know that you know it, ne? But maybe not everybody. Juncker's family, his ancestors, built the Ju-87 dive bomber planes. Ne? Juncker is, in my opinion, a literal Nazi. He owns half of Luxembourg, and his ancestors built the Ju-87 dive bomber planes for the Nazis and other planes. Ne? And that guy now comes up and says, yeah, open borders good and everything.
Right,
it makes no sense.
Right.
I don't remember the guy off the top of my head, the name, but the guy who was the first president of the European Union for the first 10 years, he was a Nazi. He was part of the Nazi parties. I don't understand how you can be a card-carrying member of the Nazi party and then become the president of the European Union. It boggles my mind. I mean...
Yeah. Strange, right?
Well, it goes back to the brainwashing. You have to sell a narrative, and you sell it to kids in school. I know in Germany, we're big on homeschooling. It is illegal to homeschool children in Germany.
Yes.
And there was a German family that actually asked for asylum to the United States, and Obama denied them that. And I would have, that's a for me a religious. They were Christians. That's a religious refugee status.
Yeah.
And that's somebody that you would let into your country.
Sure.
We're letting in all kinds of illegal immigrants, but here's a family who's taking care of their family, all of their children. They're able to be supported.
Didn't they end up getting to go to Canada or something? Somewhere else?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I have to look that up. I don't know. It was a long battle, but in Germany, many people don't know that it was Hitler who outlawed homeschooling. because he wanted to get the minds of the children. If you can have the minds of the children, you can brainwash them in however you want to. And I know that what they say is they don't want parents to brainwash their children into and let Nazism rise, but it's actually the opposite. Whereas, as you know, most Germans are loving people and they're not going to brainwash their kids. It just boggles my mind. The state is actually brainwashing people, not parents. You know,
No.
So it's a tricky thing, but that's it for me. That's a huge human rights violation, and Germany is a huge human rights violator. You should be able to teach your children. Period. End of story. It's I mean, it's like making people wear a hijab or something.
Which they're starting to do in certain places. Yeah. So I want to round this off with a little bit of hope, and then we'll take some questions, and then we will let you go because we really appreciate your time. But to me, the hope is the results of this election saw a huge, a surgence of the AfD, which is a very young baby party. And they made a huge leap forward. We've got Merkel, who's now going to have to work with the Green parties and the leftists that she doesn't want to do and they don't want to do it. And we've got a lot. We're going to have inward fighting, which is going to create destabilization, which is a good thing. So I'm kind of excited about the election results yesterday. Are you as well?
I am absolutely. I wished, of course, as I voted for them, that they would have won.
Right.
But that would have been delusional. No?
Right.
I knew that either Merkel or Schulz would win, but in the last couple of weeks it turned out like, according to the polls, Merkel would win. But almost 13% of the votes for the AfD is a good sign. You know, a young party. I mean, the other parties have been for decades long in power. You know.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I only want, you know, I'm not. I just want to. I don't know. All these, why I voted for AfD, for example, was because I am for sovereign nation states. Yeah. I am anti-illegals.
Right.
I don't want illegals to get in. I don't want illegals to live in any country, not only Germany.
Right.
And that is basically why I, for example, like Donald Trump and what he's doing.
Right.
He may not be perfect, but yeah, come on. Compare him to Obama or what you
Absolutely.
would have gotten with Clinton or
Absolutely.
Senator.
100%.
I agree. So if you guys have any more questions for So What, leave them in the comments. But I have a question. What is your background? What have you done with your life? What do you do not, for a day job? What have you been doing your whole life?
Various different jobs. I can, for reasons not going into detail about everything, I've worked in the educational field. I've worked in the military field, and I've also worked in the, let's say, nothing wrong about doing that, but I was unhappy in factories and stuff.
Right, yeah.
As you should be. All mankind should be unhappy in a factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like slave, no? Slave. The word slave alone is a robot.
Oh.
It's like a slave.
Yeah.
Robot is slave.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree. So Afi wants to know, ask him what he thinks about babis in Czech Republic.
What are babis?
I have no idea what, that question came up earlier and I wasn't sure. It's spelled B-A-B-I-S.
I think it's a Jewish leader.
Is it the Jewish leader?
Oh, the Jewish leader.
They call him Bibi or something?
No,
that's Israel.
That's Israel.
You mean Netanyahu?
I don't know who this person is.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. Yeah, I have nothing against him. I am not a supporter, but I'm not against him. I don't know. I couldn't care less, honestly. No, no disrespect. Yeah, it's just that Benjamin Netanyahu, ne?
I think that might be what they're talking about. Yes. In the Czech Republic, though. I'm not sure how that corresponds.
Interesting.
No,
Abby, I don't know if you can clarify your question there for us. Let's see.
A lot of just comments going through people.
Sorry, I'm going through the comments here. How long has Merkel held on to power? How has Merkel held on to power for so long?
Yeah, due to the phlegmacy and lethargy of the German people. Like people like my parents are like, yeah, we have always voted for this DU, so we will vote for Merkel again.
Right.
And that, I think.
And these were parties that formed immediately after World War II, am I correct? Merkel's party.
Merkel's party and the SPD.
Yeah.
And later on, not so much longer ago, but later on the FDP, the Liberal Party. And in the 80s, I may be wrong about that. Either in the late 70s or the early 80s, maybe the Green Party evolved, and the leftists came up after the wall fell, because some people call them the successor to the SED, which was the Honecker's party of back when East Germany was divided from West Germany. And the AfD is quite young.
Okay. Yes, gotcha.
So, to round this off, is there anything that you would like to share with our viewers? Any thoughts, final thoughts that you'd like to share?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no. I want to first of all to thank you all, and your I think it is your mother, right?
Yes.
Who takes a thanks to you three. Thanks to all your audience. I hope you have a great day. Yeah. That is all.
Okay, I didn't know if you had any final thoughts on just follow So What, you guys, on VidMe. I
we
don't
would
know,
love for VidMe to become
no, don't promote my channel. It's very not it's 18 plus. So.
Well, we watch your videos.
No. We have plenty of viewers that would love your channel.
We watch your videos. The take that you have is refreshing and balanced, and it's actually good to hear other people from other countries who have the same values and the same view on human rights. I mean, basic human rights. It seems like for some reason the people on the right, the people voting for AfD, they're the ones that people say, oh, you're not for human rights. Actually, we stand here stunned with our mouths to the ground saying, we're the people actually for human rights.
Right.
I don't understand. We're for all. We want everyone to have their God-given rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Twitter, and what do you think of Russia?
I have one. Hello.
I'm here.
Hear me?
No, we can hear you. You're good.
I have one single thing to say. I do not like it. That NFL players kneel down when the national anthem is sung. Yeah, that is what I hate. Yeah.
Thank you. That has been the talk of the town lately.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear your 2 cents from Germany.
And I didn't get a chance to watch it, but you have a video on that, which our viewers can go and watch. And yes, we're absolutely going to promote your channel. Our viewers would love it.
They really would, actually, seriously,
and enjoy,
especially the UK people. I think you'd find.
Oh yeah, they say here's the thing, our viewers censor themselves on our channel just for us, so it's totally fine.
The Brits have a colorful language.
Yes, the Brits are very, very colorful with their language. I do have one more question. Actually, there were 2 more. Do you think that Hungary will cave in to the migrant quotas, and if not, will they leave next?
Ooh, good question.
I think Viktor Orban from Hungary will never give up. I honestly, I think he will just say, yeah, EU, sure, we will take in the immigrants, no? But you have to give us more money. And maybe he will build a third line of fences. No? Yeah, just to make install pickets.
I think it's great.
That's Orban. No?
Okay, so Al Parks wants to know, what about the recent Russian conspiracy about the German election?
Ah, yes.
It's just BS.
I mean, there is voter fraud going on because, as I found out, they had crayons or like pencils, like this pencil, no? Not pinpoint. My English, not like a pencil,
Okay.
not like a pinpoint.
Like a ballpoint pen.
Ballpoint, yeah.
I thought that's where you went with that.
Yeah. So they had not ballpoints, but thank you, but pencils for making your cross on the party or whatnot, so that you can later rub it out. It's a conspiracy theory, no? But some people bring it up in Germany. Yeah, who knows? Eh?
Okay, so we got the clarification on the Czech Republic question. He says that Andrej, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Andrej Babis, has been many times quoted saying that he would like to be the next prime minister of the Czech Republic.
Oh.
I that's out of my league. I don't know anything about it. Are you familiar? So what?
I have no clue. I only know a funny.
You know, it's funny. I don't know.
They have banned him, sadly, from off of YouTube. Czech anti-Islam Republic, but he is back. No, he makes funny videos. No?
Okay.
So I can only say I like the Czech Republic. I like Poland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. So last question: are you on Twitter?
No.
Okay, no, that answers
You can
we had
find
a
him
couple
on
of our
Vimeo.
viewers. So really the only place that you're going to find this gem is on VidMe, and I don't think any of you guys will have a problem going to that platform. I would love to see a lot of our viewers and pretty much all of YouTube just abandon and switch to VidMe or some
Well, they
other
don't have the
platform like
servers
it.
yet to be able to
I know.
handle it.
Hopefully
So
it'll
we've
get
got to hammer through on YouTube. So yeah, try to, I don't know, just pray that we don't get censored. I don't mind actually being one of the smaller channels because you kind of get to fly under the radar. Paul Joseph Watson, Mark Dice, all these big guys, they get censored all the time. We got one of our channels taken down for a couple.
But then we were able to get it back, which is why we have two
Your
channels.
English, by the way, is amazing. I speak one language. So
Yes.
you speak your English. We really appreciate the fact that you're bringing news from Europe in English.
Ja, das ist
Thank you.
sehr gut.
Das ist sehr gut. Yes.
All right, Patriot Gallery.
He likes Poland, standing up for themselves. What does he like Russia? It's a Christian country.
Oh,
What do you-
Patriot Gallery,
He's closer to Russia than we
one
are.
last question.
Of
Patriot
course,
Gallery
Mom
says
gets
you're
the last question.
You're a vicinity in vicinity. You are closer to Russia
Than we are.
What? How do you feel about Russia?
Making Russia great again.
We actually like Russia. I feel like they're being demonized. I feel like they're the boogeyman. But how do you view Russia?
I think Russia, I agree with you. It is being unfairly so demonized.
Yeah.
While the elephant in the room is not addressed at all. And I'm not even talking about North Korea. I'm talking about China. And I have nothing against people from China.
Right.
But I'm just saying, the regime that is currently governing China
Yeah.
is an adverse country to both America, Europe, Australia, you name it. These people cannot. I apologize. Nothing against Chinese people. I'm talking about the government. I don't
Absolutely.
trust them.
Right.
No, absolutely. I mean, seriously, it boggles my mind that we're running around calling everybody a Nazi, but you can't call people a commie. I mean, seriously, the communists have killed more people than the Nazis. Chairman Mao starved, 45 million people. Shot half of those people that died, were put in you could call them gulags or something. They're concentration type camps where you have to work, prison camps. They in collectivizing all of the lands, they stole everybody's goods. They broke up families. One-child policy. The human rights violations going on in China today. And it boggle my mind. And everybody's running around in America calling people fascist. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought up the elephant in the room.
Yes, the elephant in the room is China. Awesome.
All right, so we are going to sign off. Thank you so much, So What, for being with us today. I hope that this will be the first of more Skype interviews with you so that you can kind of bring us German news every once in a while and tell us exactly what's going on. And we're praying for Germany because you guys are the kind of hotbed in the central station for the European Union and a lot of what's going on in Europe. So for our viewers, don't forget and go and subscribe on VidMe to So What. It's easy to find. We've got the page up here behind us. Share this video on your social media pages. Like it. If you had a comment that was missed, please put it in the comment section after this video processes. Don't forget, it is not just a conspiracy theory.
If it's the truth.
We love you guys. God loves you. God bless. Thank you to our moderators. I think Gary and John Petter were here today. So thank you guys for that. We love you. God loves you. And God bless. And So What? If you want to stick around, I'll sign off our live chat and then we can round off. Wait, Patriot Gallery has one more. Oh, and we do have a P.O. Box, Resistance Chicks, P.O. Box 107, Milford, Ohio 45150. All right. God bless, guys.
See you later.
Thank you.
Okay, so